So we will start within 5 minutes. Let all students join. Okay, so we were dealing with the numericals and we are now designing the counterfort retaining wall. We have done with the cantilever retaining wall. So stability moment we have calculated. From the stability moment we have got some following values, that summation W we have got, it is 389.04 kilonewton, that is our summation W, and summation M, that is stability moment, it is 939.45 kilonewton meter. Now for the further part, now we will calculate the overturning moment. So to calculate the overturning moment, first we will calculate maximum force due to lateral soil pressure. Maximum force due to lateral soil pressure, that is P. So therefore P is equal to, how do we calculate that? It is half into base K into gamma into H is the base into H, area of the triangle. Okay. So we want maximum soil pressure. So our maximum soil pressure will be, if I show you the diagram, it will be in this way. So it is in triangular shape, and the height of this triangle, this height is H, and this base is K into gamma into H. Okay, so this base is K into gamma into H and height is H. Okay. So now if we put the values over here, so therefore P is equal to into half into K, we have already calculated, it is 1/3, into gamma is 18, into H is the total height 6.7 into H 6.7. So calculate the value of P and let me know the answer. What is the P? Calculate the value. Okay, so let me see the answer. So it is 134.67. Okay. So this value is 134.67 kilonewton. Now we want to take the maximum moment. So the maximum overturning moment, we say that maximum overturning moment. So this is m0, and this maximum moment is p into h by 3. So now you can see over here, this p force, it is acting now. See, this is your retaining wall. This is your retaining wall, and this type of pressure will be there. Okay. So here the soil is trying to apply the pressure on this retaining wall. So this pressure is nothing but it is a soil pressure. And this soil pressure, we have calculated that by half base into height by taking the area of this. This is triangular. Then this soil pressure will act from the CG of this triangular area. Okay. Now, if we take the CG, if we see here, where is the CG of this triangle? It is locating somewhere here. Okay. And now, if I draw the force through the CG, it will be like this. And where is the CG of this right angle triangle situated? You know the things. This is the right angle triangle. So now this distance here, this is from the base, this distance will be h by 3. This is h by 3. So this will be p into h by 3. So this force is p. And this we have already calculated here, p. How to calculate the p? This is the formula. So p into h by 3, when we do this, then it will be, the value of p is 134.67 into the total height h is 6.7, 6.7 by 3. So if you solve this, you will get the value of maximum overturning moment m0. Maximum overturning moment m0. So let me solve also. So it will become, it is near about 300.76 kilonewton meter. 300.76 kilonewton meter. This value we have got now. Now moving further, we will now check the, we will take the check for overturning as well as check for the sliding. Likewise, we done in the cantilever retaining wall, same thing we are going to do over here also. So next is check for overturning. So now we will see the check for overturning. So factor of safety for overturning is FO, which is equal to 0.9 into stability moment, that is our MS, divided by m0, that is the overturning moment. So this value we need to calculate what is the value of f0, and this value should be greater than 1.4. This value should be greater than 1.4, then it is safe in overturning. If this value works out to be less than 1.4, then it will be fail in overturning. Okay, it will overturn. So 0.9 into 939.45 divided by, it is 300.76. So if you calculate this, what will be the value? So f0 is equal to, factor of safety is 2.81. This is 2.81, which is greater than 1.4. Okay, so this is safe. So this is safe. So I will write completely. This is safe in overturning. So it is safe in overturning. And this comes from clause number 20.1, page number 33, IS 456/2000. So now next thing is, this is now check we have taken for overturning. Similarly, we will take the check for sliding. Check for sliding. So check for sliding, it is Fs is equal to 0.9 mu into W divided by P. So if I put the values 0.9 into mu is 0.5 into W, summation W we have calculated 389.04 divided by P, just now we have calculated 134.67. So if you solve this, you will get the value of Fs. What is the value? Value is 1.29. So this value is 1.29, which is less than 1.4. Okay. So hence it is not safe in sliding. So if it is not safe in sliding, then we need to provide the shear key. So provide shear key. Okay. So that we will design the shear key later on. So now after these checks, we will move forward for the eccentricity calculation. Okay. Now we will do the eccentricity calculation. Eccentricity. Okay. So x bar. Now x bar it is nothing but it is summation m upon summation w. So summation m is what? It is ms minus m0, because overturning moment and stability moment are in opposite direction, divided by w. So it is, how much is the value? 939.45 minus m0, it is 300.76 whole divided by summation w, it is 389.06. So you will get the value of x bar. X bar, that is the distance from toe, because we have calculated the stability moment by taking the point at toe. Okay. Let me know the value of x bar. So this value is 1.64. This is 1.64 meter from toe. So what is the eccentricity now? So again, I will show it by the diagram so that you will understand. Now see, this is in plan I am showing now. So the axis, y-axis, x-axis. Okay. So now here the base is total 4 meter. This total This total is 4 meter and this is 2 meter. So here I will write this is 2 meter. This total is 4 meter. So now this is the toe end from the left hand side, and from that we have got the eccentricity at somewhere here. This point we have got now, and this distance we have calculated. This is our x bar, and this is 1.64 meter. So now eccentricity is this much of distance from neutral axis. We always calculate the eccentricity. So this distance is nothing but your eccentricity E. Okay. So therefore, your eccentricity E is equal to, it is 2 minus 1.64, which is equal to, it is 0.36 meter. Check the calculation whether it is right. 0.36 बरोबर आहे. 64 आणि 36 100. Okay. Now after the calculation of eccentricity E, we will calculate the soil pressure below which is acting on the retaining wall from ground. Okay, soil pressure which is acting from the ground. Okay. That we are going to calculate now. So soil pressure below the wall, that we are going to calculate. So you know the formula for the soil pressure, Q max and Q minimum. So I will write in general, Q is equal to, what is the soil pressure? Q is equal to, it is P by A in bracket 1 plus 6E by B. 6E by B. B is nothing but here we have used summation W. And what is the area? Area will be our length, which is this 4 meter, and width we have considered this width which is at the back, it is 1 meter. This we have considered 1 meter, which is going back dimension. That dimension is 1 meter we have considered. So this is the, if you use your plus minus, then you will get plus for Q max and minus for Q minimum. So now if we put the values, then if we put the values over here, then we get Q max is equal to, it is 389.04 divided by 4 into 1 is there. Okay, नाहीतर तुम्ही म्हणणार एरिया आहे दोन क्वांटिटी कसं काय, नाही तर into 1. Here 1 plus 6 into E is eccentricity 0.36 divided by B is 4. Okay, so this is for Q max. So if you solve this, you will get the value of Q max. Similarly, for Q minimum, which is equal to 389.04 divided by 4 into 1 in bracket 1 minus 6 into E 0.36 divided by 4. So Q minimum is equal to, and Q max is equal to. Let me know the answers. What is the value of Q max? So the value of Q max is 149.78. So it is 149.78 kilonewton per meter square. And what is the value of Q minimum? Let me know the value of Q minimum. 44.74. This value is 44.74 kilonewton per meter square. Now calculate ultimate pressure intensities. So I will write here ultimate Qmax, which is 1.5 into 149.78. Calculate this value. Ultimate Qmax. What is the answer? 224.67. So this is 224.67 kilonewton per meter square. Similarly, ultimate Q minimum, which is equal to this is ultimate Q minimum, $67.11. Okay, so these are the values which we have got right now for the pressure intensity. So if you see the diagram of this, if I draw the diagram for this, then it will be like this. It is not the rectangular diagram. So here the pressure intensity is maximum pressure intensity like this. So this is the diagram for pressure intensity. This ordinate is 67.11 kilonewton per meter square, and this ordinate is 224.67 kilonewton per meter square. These are the two ordinates which we have got for the soil pressure which is acting from below. Okay, so for the retaining wall, you always remember that soil pressure is acting from below as well as from side, where the backfilling is there. From there also it is acting. Also, the weight of soil pressure is also acting vertically downward. That also we consider. So weight of soil pressure is acting downward, and then soil pressure is also acting laterally, and then from ground also it is acting. So now we will do the design of stem. Now the further part is design of stem. Design of stem. Now the maximum soil pressure on the stem that we need to calculate first. Maximum soil pressure on the stem. What is the maximum soil pressure? What is the height of the stem? So now you can see the total height of retaining wall is 6.7, and our base slab thickness, base slab depth is 0.3. Okay, so from the total, if you minus that 0.3, you will get the height of stem, and that height of stem is 6.4. 6.7 minus 0.3. So here I will write height of stem. You are having the diagram. You can refer the diagram which we have drawn in last lecture. Height of stem is equal to total height minus height of this base slab. So it is 6.4 meters. This is your height of stem. So now calculate the maximum lateral pressure on stem. Maximum lateral pressure. Now I am talking about the pressure. I am not talking about the force on stem. The maximum lateral pressure will be K into gamma into H. Okay, so here the height h is 6.4. I will use the notation h1 so that you will not get confused. So it is 1/3 into 18 into 6.4. What is the value? 38.4. So it is 38.4 kilonewton per meter. Okay. Why it is in kilonewton per meter? Because the other dimension we have considered it as a 1. If you multiply this quantity by 1, then you will get it in kilonewton per meter. Okay. Or rather you can write here kilonewton per meter square also. There is no problem because this 18 is in kilonewton per meter cube and this is in meter, so you will get kilonewton per meter square. But we have assumed that 1 meter length be backwards. So when you consider that and if you multiply this by 1, the value will remain as it is, but unit will become kilonewton per meter. So that point you should remember. So the UDL, uniformly distributed load W, which is equal to 38.4 into 1. So whatever I have written now, this line, this is the extra line. If you want to avoid it, you multiply here only by 1 in the previous step and write the answer in directly in kilonewton per meter if you want to avoid this. So 38.4. So now the maximum moment we will calculate. So the maximum moment. So to calculate the maximum moment, if I show you the line diagram of this stem, then it will be, see, this is our slab. Now from the side view, we are looking at it from side view, so that you will see the counter force also. Okay, so now if I extend this, these are the counter force. This is my side view. These are the counter force. So these are the counter force. Now the thickness of counter force is known to us. This is given in the problem. Okay, so we have taken this as, now it is not given, we have taken this as a 0.3. This is 0.3. We already know that 0.3, 0.3. And the spacing is given in the problem. The center to center spacing between the two counter force, it is center to center spacing, it is 3 meter. This spacing is 3 meter center to center. Okay. So between two counter force, your stem part is there from where this pressure is going to act on the stem. From where the pressure is going to act on the stem. So in between, two counter forces are there. So the center to center spacing between the counter forces is 3 meter. So what is this span for our bending moment? This span we need to calculate. This span. Okay. This is our length L. This is our span L. And this L, you can calculate this L as L is equal to this total center to center 3 minus, if this is 0.3, this is 0.3, then half of it is 0.15 minus half of it is 0.15. Okay, 0.15. So instead of writing over here, I will write above. So your L is equal to, it is 3 minus 0.15 minus 0.15. So 3 minus 0.3, it will be 2.7 meters. It is 2.7 meters. So this is your L. That is the span. So now the maximum moment for stem, in this case, we consider that the stem is what we can say fixed. Just a moment, 1 minute. Just 1 or 2 minutes. Huh? Please wait. Okay. So now the maximum bending moment, here we consider this stem. Stem is here in between. This is our span, and we considered it as a fixed at both the ends. Okay, and it is carried the UDL. So here the bending moment of stem, we calculate it as M is equal to WL square by 12. So therefore M is equal to W is your value, it is 38.4 into L is your span 2.7 square divided by 12. So therefore M is equal to, what is the value? Let me know the value of M. 23.33. Okay, so it is 23.33 kilonewton meter. So this is the value of M. Now calculate the ultimate value. Okay, so calculate the ultimate moment. MU. Calculate the ultimate moment MU. So ultimate moment MU is equal to ultimate moment MU is equal to, it is 1.5 into 23.33. Let me know the answer. Multiplied by 1.5. 34.99. 34.99 kilonewton meter. Okay. Now take the check for depth. of the stem. So we have taken the depth of stem. It is how much? It is 300 mm. Okay. So we have provided, I will write first provided depth so that you will understand. Provided depth. So instead of writing provided depth, I will write more specific. Provided overall depth. What overall depth we have provided? Overall depth for the stem is 300 mm. This we have already provided in the last lecture. Then what is the effective depth? Effective depth. So to calculate the effective depth, assume effective cover as 40 mm. You can assume it. There is no problem. Okay. So here I will write before this. एखाद्या एवढं डिटेल लिहायची गरज नाही पण तुम्हाला समजावं म्हणून मी लिहितोय. So assume effective depth. I am directly assuming the effective depth. I am not taking the clear cover, bar diameter ते सगळं करून. Normally the effective depth for the retaining structures is 40 mm, 50 mm or 60 mm. Depends upon the site condition. So assume the effective depth, not effective cover, not depth. I will assume the effective cover which is equal to 40 mm. Okay. So then effective depth, this is your small d, effective depth, it is equal to 300 minus 40, which is equal to 260 mm. This is provided already. This depth we have already provided to our stem. Now we have got the value of bending moment. So now just we need to take the check for depth, whether this depth is sufficient or we have to revise the depth. That we need to check. So the next point is check for depth. Check for depth. So this depth, now we will equate our maximum bending moment mu to mr. So our value of mu is 34.99 into 10 to the power 6, which is equal to mr 0.138 fck b d required square, required depth. So if you solve this, you will get the value of d required and let me know the answer. What is the depth? $356. Please check the calculation once again. 356.05. Only the bending moment is only near about 35 kilonewton meter, no? It is not 100 also. 112.59. Okay, so the D required is 112.59 mm. So which is less than D provided, which is 260 mm. Hence safe. Hence it is safe for the bending moment. Now once we have taken the check for depth, now our next step is reinforcement details. Now the next step is reinforcement. Okay, so to calculate the reinforcement, you know the formula. AST is equal to, it is 0.5 FCK BD whole divided by FY, here in bracket 1 minus square root 1 minus 4.6 mu divided by FCK BD square. This formula we are going to use. Just put the values in this formula. So you will get the area of steel. AST is equal to 0.5 FCK BD. B is 1000. D is the depth. It is 260. For stem, we have provided effective depth 260 divided by Fy is 415 in bracket 1 minus square root of 1 minus 4.6 mu 34.99 into 10 to the power 6 divided by FCK 20. B is 1000 and D is again 260 square. So solve this, you will get the value of area of steel. Solve it and let me know the answer. What is the area of steel? Let me know the answer. Do quick calculation. Three 384.5773. Okay. So 384.73 mm square. Now assume 12 mm bar diameter and calculate the number of bars. So assume 12 mm, or you can say provide 12 mm bar diameter. 12 mm bar diameter. So now calculate the number of bars. So number of bars is equal to, what was our area? 384.73 divided by area of single bar 5/4 into 12 square. Let me know the exact answer in points. Number of bars. . 3.4. So we will round up to 4 numbers. So now calculate AST provided. AST provided. Calculate this. AST provided is equal to 4 bars we are going to provide, each of bar diameter 12. So let me know the answer. 452.39. 452.39 mm square. This is the AST provided. Now calculate the spacing. Spacing S is equal to area of single bar divided by AST provided multiplied by width. Let me know the spacing. Two 49.99. So 249.99 म्हणजे 250 mm झालं ना. So round value, if you are getting 250 mm, it is okay. 250 mm center to center. So I will write here provide 12 mm bar about 250 mm center to center. These are our main steel. This is our main steel in stem. Main steel in stem. Now calculate the distribution steel in the stem. So we need to calculate the distribution steel. So distribution steel. For other direction, we need to provide the distribution steel. So the distribution steel, you know the formula, ASTD is equal to, this is also called as minimum steel, this is also called as temperature steel, this is also called as the shrinkage steel. All are the names of distribution steel only. So remember this. In the MCQ, the question might be asked. So ASTD is 0.12% of gross area. It is 0.12% of gross area. So distribution steel is equal to 0.12%. So 0.12 divided by 100 into gross area, it is 1000 into 1000 into overall depth we need to consider. So it is 300. 260 is the effective depth, 300 is the overall depth. So what is the answer? So 360. Okay. 360 mm square. Okay, so again, as you use 12 mm diameter bars, so assume 12 mm bar diameter, then calculate the number of bars. Number of bars is equal to 360 divided by 5 by 4 into 12 square. In points, let me know the answer. .18. Okay, so 3.18, which is nearly equal to 4 numbers. So here ASTD provided distribution steel provided. So what we are going to provide now, we are going to provide 4 bars, each of bar diameter 12 mm. So how much it is? It is 452.39. 452.39 mm square. Now calculate the spacing of distribution steel. Spacing S is equal to, it is pi by 4 into 12 square area of single bar divided by AST provided multiplied by width. So it is again 250 mm. Previously we have calculated this now. So here at the last write provide 12 mm bars about 250 mm center to center, and this is your distribution steel in stem. This is your distribution steel in stem. So main steel and distribution steel you are going to provide for both 12 mm diameter bars, and which is placed at a distance of 250 mm center to center. So here the design of stem ends. Here the design of stem ends. Then we will take the design of, next is the design of toe slab. Okay. So design of toe slab. So before moving forward to the design of toe slab, you can also take the check for the shear in the stem also. Okay. You can take the check for the shear in stem. So that check we are going to take by normal method, but in the last numerical also we have not taken the check because it is generally safe. So it is like a slab. So you can see for one-way slab, two-way slab, we don't use to take the check. And if we take the check, then it is always safe in the shear. So similar thing is here also. It is safe in the shear. So instead of going for taking the check for the shear, or shall I show you the step how to take the check for shear? It is always safe, but do you want the calculation step how to take the check for shear? If you say yes, then I will show you the steps how to take the check for shear. Otherwise, there is no need. So what you want? बोला कोणीतरी. मी तुम्हाला काय सांगितलं की चेक फॉर शिअर जे आहे ते स्टेम साठी म्हणा, टो स्लॅब साठी किंवा हिल स्लॅब साठी इट इज ऑलवेज सेफ. देर इज नो नीड टू टेक द चेक. ओके. जसं आपण वन वे स्लॅब टू वे स्लॅबला करतो त्याच प्रकारे ते सेफ येत आहे. सो शिअर इट डज नॉट फेल ड्यू टू शिअर. मग तो स्टेम असेल, टो स्लॅब असेल किंवा हिल स्लॅब असेल. So there is no need to take the check for shear. Still, if you want for your knowledge how the check for the shear can be taken for this stem ला check for shear कसं घ्यायचं ते जर तुम्हाला पाहिजे असेल तर मी तुम्हाला आता सांगतो. I will give you the steps. Or otherwise, we will move to the design of toe slab. What you want? Okay. So I will tell you the steps to take the check for shear. Okay. So I will write here check for shear. Take the IS code with you, IS 456-2000. To take the check for shear, IS code is required. So check for shear, I will do this as a star. This step is not necessary in the examination. Okay, but now for your knowledge, I am telling you how to take the check. So first calculate the shear force. First calculate the shear force. Okay. V, which is equal to WL by 2. So W, you have already calculated the intensity 38.4. You can refer the previous steps. Into span also we have calculated 2.7 for the stem. Intensity is 38.4, span is there and divided by 2. So if you solve this, you will get the shear force as 51.84 kilonewton. This is your shear force. Now from V calculate VU, ultimate shear. So ultimate shear force VU is equal to multiply this by 1.5. So if you multiply this by 1.5, you will get the answer as 77.76 kilonewton. This is VU. Now calculate tau V, nominal shear. Now calculate nominal shear. We used to call this as tau V, nominal shear. The formula for nominal shear is VU upon BD. This is the formula. This we have also seen in DCS1. Okay. So here tau V is the nominal shear, VU upon BD. So the value of VU is 77.76 into 10 raised to 3. divided by our B is 1000 and effective depth is 260. We are talking about stem. We are taking the check for shear for stem. So use the dimensions of the stem. Use everything, pressure and everything of the stem only. Okay. So if you solve this, BU upon BD, तर किती येते BU upon BD? It is 77.76 E3 divided by 10 raised to 3 divided by 1000 into 260. That is 0.3, 0.29. Okay, so this is 0.29 Newton per mm square. This is now nominal shear. So this shear is getting developed in the stem. Nominal shear means what? This shear force or this shear stress is getting developed into the stem. Now we need to calculate what the IS code says. What is the permissible shear? Okay. So to calculate the permissible shear, we require the percentage of steel. So first of all, calculate the percentage of steel. Percentage of steel. So percentage of steel is, formula is 100 AST upon BD. Okay, percentage of steel. त्याला आपण PT notation use करतो, percentage of steel. So it is 100 into AST means what? Main steel reinforcement घ्यायचा, distribution steel चा घ्यायचा नाही percentage. Main steel. So AST of the main steel provided was 452.39. That was our main steel which we have provided. Divided by B is 1000 into D is 260. So what is the percentage of steel? How much percent? Calculate now. What is the percentage of steel? It is 100 into calculate केलं का? So it is 0.17%. So percentage of steel is 0.17%. Okay. And now from the IS code table number 21, you can calculate page number I think 72 or 73. If you refer that table from the percentage of steel and grade of concrete. Now grade of concrete is M20, percentage of steel is 0.17. So from that you need to do the interpolation in that table and calculate the value of permissible stress. So here I will write permissible shear stress tau C, okay, tau C, which is equal to, if you do the calculation, you will get this value as 0.3. You will get that value as 0.3 MPa. So here what is happening? Here your tau V is less than or equal to tau C. Okay. Hence safe in shear. Hence it is safe in shear. So this is safe in shear now. So the remaining part of this we will see in the next lecture. Okay, I think in the afternoon we will see. So now we are on the end of the syllabus. So in the water tank there is only one type of problem. GSR problem that is asked in the examination, that only we will take. It will require only 2 hours. Hmm? So after the finishing of this problem, within 2 to 3 lectures, our syllabus will over. 2 to 3 hours. So now today we will stop over here. So now I will take the screenshot of the attendance and then you can leave. Just wait. Okay, now you can drop your roll number into the chat box and you can leave the meeting.